For more on the Federation's Cup, I'm being joined now at the News at 10 by the Sun newspaper's roving sports editor, George Aluo. Well, thank you for joining us on the News at 10.
It's my pleasure, Marachi.
It must be a really happy day for the Lobby Stars, I believe, that won. But what are your thoughts on the standards of the team that play in the finals this year?
Well, Amarachi, if you look at the standard, not a bad one in terms of performance on the field of play. I think Heartland that we saw this evening and Lobby Stars gave a good account of themselves, talking about quality of play. We really have the talents, no doubt about that, in the country. The performance of the two teams was something impressive. If you look at Heartland, for instance, they parade some of the best legs in the country, so I'm not surprised they won. Daniel Akpeyi, their first choice keeper, has been one of the home-based Super Eagles players. But the one they call Mosquito, Ibenebu, is equally a midfielder of the Super Eagles. So I think both teams, David Tiakase has seen it all. He plays for Lobby. So in terms of quality, I think fans saw good football.
Were there expectations for this competition, for this year's competition? Were the expectations high?
The expectations were high, but if you look at it, football on the home front, we really need to do something about it because come to look at it, we're talking about the most glamorous competition in the land, talking about the FA Cup. It used to be the Governor's Cup, it became the FA Cup, and now they call it Federation's Cup, but whatever name it is called, it remains the #1 competition in the land. And it has lost its glamour, so to speak, because if you remember in 1990, as a Cup reporter, when I was starting my journalism career, I remember Ranger stationery stores at the National Stadium in Lagos. If you drop a pin, it will not drop at that same National Stadium, directly opposite the Teslim Balogun Stadium. But today, we saw the Federation's Cup final being played in an empty stand, even when one of the heavily supported clubs in Nigeria, Heartland, is involved. Because if you look at it, Heartland has so many supportership in Lagos. But at the end of the day, even last year when they played in Nyimba, two teams from east of the Niger, you expected a full house. But at the end of the day, the stadiums were empty. And today, again, we saw an empty stadium. So it's really is something that is worrisome.
How can we actually help, relieve the nation of this apathy? I mean, people don't really watch local matches anymore. We'd rather sit at home and watch on TV.
Yeah,
or watch
they're like the Premiership games that are on today.
Yeah.
But we really need to do something about our domestic football, because come to look at it, those who package the Premiership that people clamor to go and watch, it took them time, and today they have a good product. And we cannot continue to say that we are Man U fans, we are Arsenal fans and all that. We need to look inwards and support our own. The fans have to come out. If you talk in terms of quality of play, I must tell you, Amarachi, that the standard is high.
Oh, the standard has improved.
Yes, it has really improved. The only thing is that we need to do a lot more. And the Federation has got some challenge. But I think they are improving, to give them some credit, because last year, this same Federation's Cup was nothing. When Heartland won it last year, there was no price tag to it. And it was a shame that we are playing Nigeria's Federation Cup without one dime being attached to it. But this year, there's some improvement. 2 million naira is going to the winners, 1 million to the runners up by 500,000. But that's still peanut. Because come to look at it, just before I came to the studio here, I googled what the Premiership, the FA Cup in England is worth. And the winners go home with £2 million. And that is about 500 million naira. That's some money.
That's a lot.
You can imagine the FA Cup winners in England pocketing 500 million pounds, 500 million naira. Yet in Nigeria, we're talking of 2 million naira. And that 2 million naira is not enough to even pay the sign-on fees of one player.
I think it boils down to sponsorship, of these clubs.
Yes, it has to do with sponsorship.
It will improve, the interest in local...
The Federation Cup is being played without sponsorship.
Yeah.
It's amazing that corporate bodies in Nigeria are not putting money on our local competition.